using all the fields, like advanced fields.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Shall I show the form or
Do you have any
it
doubt?
will?
Do you have any?
Yeah, no, I have no doubt.
Then fine. Okay.
I just
Vivek,
explored the all the fields and properties. And
good, good. Vivek and Shreya, do you have anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am. Okay, then let's move on to the next field called lookup. This is one of the import important field type in creator, because without this field, I'm sure without this field no project is going to happen. So this field is very, very important. So you have to learn this logic. Okay, let me show you what it is. Shreya and Vivek, have you created a account?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. Okay, I'll teach you what is lookup. Um, so do you have any idea what is relational database or a foreign key in database? Uh, do you have any idea? Foreign keys in database?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. Basically, foreign the lookup is the same function of foreign key. Okay, so what lookup do is it will connect two different tables. It will act as a bridge between two different tables. Okay, so let's say I'm sure you'd have filled a lot of online forms where when you select the country as India, the next field will be state, where you will get the state under India, right? So if you choose USA, you will get different state. If you choose India, you will get different state, right? So based on the country, they are filtering the state, right? Have you tried before, right? Have you seen this kind of filter anywhere in the online submission form? Okay. Okay, I'll teach you what is lookup exactly. Okay, so let's say we have a country form. So we have a country form here. I have a field called country. Okay. So I have another form. I'm going to create another form called state. Okay. So if you see here, I'm going to create a lookup field. If you drag the lookup field, it will ask you from which application you want to get the data. See, we are going to get the application, data from same application. Okay, which form you want to get? Let's say country. The field is country. We have created, right? So what kind of display format you want? Whether you want drop down or radio button or multi-select or checkbox. Let's say this is drop down for now. So I'm just choosing this, and then in the state form I'm creating one more single line called state. Okay, so if you see here, if I access this application, see there is a country and state, right? Okay, let's say we are just filling some country data, India, USA. Okay, if you go into the state column where you can see what are all the data you fill, I mean, what are all the data you inputted in the country form will be displayed in a drop down mode here. Okay, this is lookup field. It will get the data from different form and display it in a new form. Okay, lookup is nothing but it's a relationship between two different forms. Okay, wow. Using this relationship, you can get the data from one form and display it in another form. Okay, even you can get the data from different application and display it in different application. Okay. Guys, are you getting this? Because it is very important, because if I it is very important to understand this. If I move forward, this is very important topic. So if I move forward, you should know everything. Okay, you understand, right? So we just created a country form where we have inputted couple of country data. We created a relationship between country and state by creating the lookup field of countries. Okay.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
So if you go here, let's say we will create some data in state from India. Let's say Tamil Nadu. India, Delhi. Okay. For USA, we'll create New Jersey. Texas. Okay. So in the customer form, I'm going into the customer form now. So what I'm doing is I'm going to create a lookup field from country form as well as state form. See, I'm just dragging the lookup field. It will give you the all the application which you have in this login. You will get it here. Then you will get based on this application. So what are all the forms you have under this application, you will get it here. And then what are all the fields under this form will be displayed here. So this is country. Okay. The same way, I'm going to create a lookup between state. Okay, let's say I'm just displaying the state. Okay. And I have to tell you one more thing. In Zoho, it's common for all the thing. So whenever you create a record in Zoho, Zoho will create a ID field automatically in the backend. So it's a unique ID. So every time when you submit the data, a unique ID, a 19-digit unique ID will be generated automatically in the backend. Okay, so if you see here, whatever data you submit in Zoho, you will get a unique ID actually. So this unique ID is the key of lookup field. So based on this ID only, the data will be displayed actually, the link between the forms. So if you see here, the ID for USA, this one, and India is this, right? The same way the state is also will have unique ID. So in the customer form, we have created two, right? So our goal is now is when I choose country in India, in the state column, only the state belongs to under India should be displayed here. Okay. You can achieve this in two different ways. One is you can set filter in the form itself, or else you can write a code to achieve this. So I will teach you the filter option now. Okay, so if you see here, if you go into that form, the in which field you need a filter, you have to select that field and scroll down. in the field properties something called set filter. Can you see set filter here? So if you enable this, you will get a pop-up like this. So here you have to choose. See, I told you, right? If it is a lookup, if it is a lookup field, then you have to choose the ID. Okay, so the country ID equals input dot country. This input dot country is nothing but, come on, 1 minute. Okay, it's saved now, right? Input dot country is nothing but whenever you generate a field in Zoho, you will get a field link name here. So if you want to, access this field anywhere in the code, you have to use field link name, not the field name. If you see here, the name is a decision space box, right? But you cannot use this name in coding anywhere. You have to use this name. So whenever you want to mention this field, you have to use this field link name. Okay. So if you see here in the state, I have set a filter. What I did, if the user select any country, this is the user selection part, the left hand side. So since it is a lookup field, you have to always mark it with ID. Okay. The right side is where, based on what you want to give that filter. So we want based on the country. So if it is country.id, so let's see here in the front end, we have set a filter now, India, right? So can you see? So we are getting the state based on the selected country. If I choose USA, you will get the state based on USA. Did you understand this filter part? Why I choose, see, okay, let's say this country field, okay? What will happen? Let's see. If you choose this country field. Okay. Can you see? In creator, we have something called field type, right? If it is a single line, it's a string field. If it is decimal, then it's a float. If it is number, it's a number. Or if it is multi-select, it is string. The same way, if it is a lookup, that is a number. Okay, the argument value for lookup is number, because lookup is always related to this Zoho's ID, no matter what. No matter what, if even if you create a lookup field based on float, based on number, based on string, based on date, doesn't matter. The lookup field always, the field type for lookup is always a number. So you cannot map a string field with a number field. Okay. Understand that? Because here the
Yes,
country
ma'am.
is a lookup field, right? So you cannot map what it is saying is the left side is a string. Okay, the right side is a lookup field. So you cannot map a string with a number field. That's why you have to choose a number field to map. Okay. Now it saved. So if I choose country as India, it's giving, right? Okay, you can achieve this through coding also. Okay, I will teach you, because the when I have to teach you the workflow part first, then the coding part. Okay, but now you have to understand the usage of lookup, right? How to use, where to use the lookup fields. If you want to display a data from another table into some table, you have to use lookup field. Okay. That lookup field will create a connection between those two tables. Okay. So you can do all the actions through this lookup field. If you want to update this main form, let's say, sorry, if you want to update the country field, you can do that through lookup field. If you want to update the state field, you can do that through this lookup field. Okay. The main thing is you have to understand this ID logic. So if it is a lookup, you can change anything here. You can change the USA to USA M kind of thing. Okay, this will be displayed in the front end like this, but you cannot change this ID value. So if it is USA, it belongs to this ID. If it is India, then belongs to this ID. Okay, using this ID, you can update this column names and everything. Okay. One minute, let me. You understand, right? So in relational, I mean, in database thing, what usually they'll do is they'll create a foreign key to update the another table. Here, this ID is act as a foreign key. You can, after this meeting, you can search what is foreign key. Okay, then you will understand the concept. Okay, in Zoho Creator, lookup field will fulfill the concept of foreign key. Okay. So anyway, all the things in moving forward, we will use this lookup field numerous times. You cannot control this because most of the project, the requirements will come like that only. You have to create a relationship between two different tables. Then you have to use lookup. Based on this lookup field only, we can get the data from table A to B to C kind of thing. So lookup field is very important. Whenever you get a chance, you just do a Google and learn more about this lookup field. Okay, but this is the basic concept. Lookup field is acting, it will create a relationship between two different tables. You can access the data between two different tables. Okay, so I will teach you how to achieve this filter through code little later, because I need to cover all the field type first, then I will do that. Okay, so if it is lookup, you have to learn about the set filter also. So in tomorrow work for you guys is, what I want is you just create educational degree kind of thing. Let's say MBA, BE, BSc. Okay, if I select BE, under that the department should display BA. If it is BE, then computer science, like ECE, E&I kind of thing. If it is BSc, mathematics, physics kind of thing should display. Okay. So you just filter using this set filter to create two different forms and do this. Okay. Try to do. Even if not, just show me, or if you have any doubt, ask me. I'll help you tomorrow in our tomorrow's training session. Okay. Next, fine, right? You understand what you have to do for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Then let's move on to subform. Subform is nothing but, let's say we have a form here, right? We usually call this as a main form. Okay. If you see here in the main form, we can always, filter. I mean, we can always add a single data. We can add only USA, India, China. It's a single entry, right? But if you want to add multiple data in a single row, I mean, in a single entry, if you want to add multiple data, that time you have to create subform. Okay, subform is, it's not, okay, in a real-time example, how can I say is, Let's say you have, you have a school bag in your product list. Okay. The same school bag, you can have it, you may have it in five, different colors, right? So in the product table, school bag is a single entity. Okay, the single entry. But the school bag can be in different colors. Okay, so you can define the colors in the subform entry. Basically, it's form inside another form that is called subform. If you track a subform here, okay, there are two types in the subform. If you track a subform here, okay, subform cannot be added in the layout. It's always in a single layout. It will be created only in the single layout. Okay. So if you see here, when you track a subform, it will give you two options. One is blank form, another one is existing forms. Okay. Blank form is nothing but it will give you, if you choose the blank form, no, in the inside the subform itself, you will get option of creating the field type. If you want single line column, you can place single line. Then you can see the field types here. You will get all the field types here. You can do that. Okay. Another option is if you drag a subform, the another option is, it will give you all the existing forms, which is the forms are already created in this application. Okay, will be displayed here. Let's say if you want to add a country column inside this form, you can choose a country field here. So if you see in the front end, if you go into the customer form, if you go in, see, can you see here, you can add it manually, but if you, the another form is country form. So we have already India and China, right? Sorry, India and USA, right? You can create China from here. Why? Okay, so the data is added. Okay, so if you see, the China is added into that subform also. So if you want to capture multiple rows inside a form, you have to create subform. It's nothing but a form inside another form. In Zoho Creator, you will get two types of form. One is you can create a blank form where you can define the fields, while creating the subform. Another thing is you can embed another form which are created already. Okay, so you can ask what is the difference, right? I will tell you what is the difference. I'll teach you what is the difference between. Okay, if you create a blank subform, we will call that as a inline we will say that as a inline subform. Okay, the name of that is inline subform. So I will tell you what is the difference between inline subform and existing subform. Okay, it nothing different in the front end, but there is a different, technically there is a different when you access the data. Okay, if it is the inline subform, which is blank, which is a blank subform, then you will not get any unique ID for this subform entry. Okay, you will get unique ID only for this main form entry. Okay, but if you embed any existing subform, then you will get a unique ID for each entry. So I would recommend you to use this existing subform concept always, because inline subform means then you will not get any unique ID. You have to access this data through this main form data only. So always you have to loop the data if you create inline subform. So I would recommend you to go for this kind of subform always. You create a new form and embed it into the form where you want always. Okay, but you should know about this inline subform also. So you have to practice this inline subform. So you can create n number of field here. So if you see here this, if I add this kind of field, then it will be displayed like this. See, can you see? So if you want to add anything, you can create multiple rows here. Okay, so you can add n number of rows like this. If you in the subform, if you see here the field types, you will get field properties, you will get some additional properties. See, you can limit the maximum number of limit the entries in the subform. Let's say you want the user to input only maximum of 5 rows. You can define the row number here. Okay, then if you want to whenever they go into this form, always open a row means then you can define 2, 1 or 2. Let's say if I define 2 here, what will happen is the 2 rows will be displayed automatically. Whenever this form is loaded, the 2 rows will be created automatically here. Can you see? So you can define the default entries. The same way you can define the maximum entries too. Okay. So you have to practice these 2 things. Okay. So this is also very important. You may use it, in multiple places. If you come into project, this subform is also very important. You have to use it in most of the places. Okay. You have to create subform, and then you have to check all the field properties. If you have any doubt in this field properties, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow you have to create a lookup field with filter. Another one is you have to create 2 different type of subform inside the product form. Okay, to capture the color of the product or dimension of the product. Okay, whatever it is, fine. Okay, both of you got it? Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you understand what is lookup, right?
Like, yeah, what is the difference between this lookup and set filter? Yeah, both are same, or is there any difference? Like,
Come again, Pavan. Sorry, come again. What is your question?
yeah, like difference between lookup and set filter, like both are same, or
No, you
is there
can set
anything difference?
filter in the lookup field. That's it. Whenever you drag a lookup field, there is an option called set filter.
Okay.
So if you enable the set filter, you can enable the set filter and define your condition. Okay, let's say if you have one more field called city. Okay, so when you select the state, the city should be filtered based on the state. Then what you will do? Okay, tomorrow you have to do this concept. You take country, state, city alone. Okay, so based on country, the state should be filtered. Based on state, the city should be filtered. You will get the filter in the lookup field option, Pavan, basically. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, like set filter is this option only applicable for lookup only, no?
What you are asking us, this self filter will be applicable only for lookup field, right?
Yeah, this
That's
option
what
will
you
be
are asking.
only with.
Yeah.
When we apply, look,
Yeah. If you see here, if I go into currency field, you'll not get the set filter option, right? If you go
yeah,
into
okay.
state, you will get the filter. But the thing is, here you will get all the lookup field and the options. Only lookup field can be set in filter.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Okay. So lookup, this is very important to learn about set filter, the lookup field. Okay. So tomorrow you create 3 different forms: country, state, city. Okay. And create another form called customer. Okay. You create
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
You create 3 lookup fields into customer form. One is country, another state, and city. Okay. Here, the state should be filtered based on country, and then city should be filtered based on state. This is tomorrow's task. It's a little difficult in the initial time, but don't worry. You just familiarize with lookup field form first. How to create, how to create a relationship between two forms. It is very important to know in between which forms you are creating the lookup field. So just think how to create this kind of filter. Try to do. If not, I'll teach you tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
The same way you have to practice the inline subform and the existing subform. Okay. I
Yeah,
will
okay,
teach
ma'am.
you the difference between these two. We can understand clearly when we move to the coding part. Okay. The display and everything is same here and here, but in the backend there is a big difference. Okay. How accessing the data is a big difference between inline and existing subform. So I'll teach you that when we move into the coding part. Okay. So here we have covered everything. I hope, did anybody try this barcode thing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I just leave it to you. Just try tomorrow this barcode thing. Let's see how it is working. Okay.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Just move on into special fields. It's not that much, big thing. The special field, the section field is nothing but, you can segregate the fields inside a section. Let's say if it is application form, okay. So what we will do is first we will capture the personal information. Next we will capture the educational qualification. Next we will get the experience thing and everything, right? So if you define this section, let's say the personal information, you can inside this section, you can drag all the field like name. You can put the fields inside. See, inside this personal section, you can drag and drop the fields. All the personal related fields, you can put it inside this section. Create another section called education details. Then you can put all the education related details under this section. This is basically will allow you to segregate your fields inside a section. Okay. It is purely the user friendly. This is you're using this only for user friendly thing. There is no, and same way if you see here, whenever you drag a field, you will get the field link name, right? Field link name, right? The same way you will get the field link name for section also. Okay. And then if you drag the section, see you are getting this, right? Show header for this section. If you want to hide the section name, you can hide it from here. See the education is, if you see in the front, the education will not be displayed. Okay. Section is nothing but the segregation of fields. That's it. So add notes is it's nothing but it will allow you to write a HTML inside this. The same way you can give some notes for customer. Let's say submit before submit before November 15. You can write some notes that will be displayed in the front end. In the notes column, you can write an HTML also. You can design something and write it also. Okay. Here, if you see here, I created a notes, right? See, it will be displayed like that. But you can define a HTML and make it beautiful in add notes column. Okay. Here, if you see here, this is the thing, right? You can do some HTML and paste it here. If you paste the HTML part, or if you write a HTML part, all the changes will be displayed. Let's say div style, I don't know, color red, apply changes, done. See, it's red. So you can do all the HTML things in notes column. You can place this in the middle and make it the bold or whatever you want. Whatever you do in HTML can be done in this notes column. Okay. Then users are nothing but, what are all the users you have under this account will be displayed in the front end. Let's say I shared this application with 10 different people. Then all the 10 different people names will be displayed here. Currently we have only one user, so it's displaying only one. But if you share this application with multiple people, then all the users who are using it, their names will be displayed under this field. Integration, okay. I can teach you a little later because I want Madhvi to finish her training in CRM kind of thing. Okay, integration is nothing but where you can access the data from different products. You can get the data from QuickBooks, Zoho CRM. Let's say if I choose Zoho CRM, it will ask you. It will ask you to create the connection first. Then if you create a connection, you can get the data from CRM. I will teach you a little later because I want you to learn about CRM first. Then we will use this integration field. This is little new. I have not used this field in any of the project yet because it is very new. So I'm not sure how to explain this. Maybe I'll check and then I'll come back to you, okay, on this field. They're reminding us AA fields, the prediction, keyword extraction, sentiment analysis. These are all nothing but if you track the sentiment analysis part. Okay, I will explain what it is first. Okay, if you track the sentiment analysis part, analysis column, what this field will do is, let's say you have a feedback form, okay, where you can enable this sentiment analysis. Basically, the sentiment analysis, what it will say is, based on the customer input, it will say, it will give you a report whether it is good or bad. Okay, that is sentiment analysis. The same way you can do the keyword extraction. Okay, you can define some keyword, but if it is good, the point is 10. If it is bad, the point is 0. If it is minimum, if it is okay, you can define that. So you can generate the reports based on the keyword which are inputted by your user. Okay, this is basic. These are all the things I'll teach you when we move into the project, actually, because you need some data to explore these fields. Okay, so once we move into the data and coding part, we can learn all these fields. Okay, so tomorrow you have to learn about lookup and suffer, and you have some small thing to do in lookup fields. Okay, anything else you have a doubt on this fields? Do you have anything?
Yeah, no, ma'am.
Okay. So we can connect tomorrow, and because I don't want to move, we have 25 minutes, right? If I move into the coding, it's little difficult to finish it in 25 minutes. So you can use this time and try to learn about lookup and subform. I'll be available. If you have any doubt, you just ping me, okay?
Yeah, okay.